X1.
Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, back in Terra Tech 0.6.0.5, once again in the R&D. This time I'm trying something new. It was kind of suggested in the comments of one of my videos, and I thought it was a pretty good idea. It was to try and build a self-sustaining tech that's small, like I'm guessing around 7 by 7 by 7 is a good size to call smallish to be self-sustaining. Maybe not 7 tall, you don't necessarily have to be that big, but then also one of the requirements was to carry the SCU. Well, most techs, unless they're bigger, aren't going to be able to carry it easily, especially early game techs, which was kind of another bit of the background story to the challenge I put myself to today. And I usually just carry it until I get it big enough. Just have it in my hand, held by the cursor, floating around. That way it can't be shot either. You don't lose nothing out of it. You can plunk it down easy when you know you're gonna win, and it's right there charging up before they even blow up. Kind of nice like that. For these techs, because of that fact, I kind of focused on just the self-sustaining part. So able to take in resources, able to refine, burn them for fuel, like energy, and I don't use fuel too much for jets or nothing, but especially not a little guy like this. Even got the filter in there. Now you don't get much supply. It has to be a constant fill on a little guy like this. You could replace the filter with a silo, but as I can't pull in a silo in the R&D right now, the small silo, I didn't want to make it with the bigger one for other reasons. It takes up too much room. It's not going to be a small tech anymore. And this can also sell. So as far as starting out in the game, as long as you're selective with what resources you do put through your refinery and your generator, you can have a pretty good charge for a while. And of course, you do need some shielding. A regen bubble is always a good idea. Now you can make the basic like processing part pretty small, 3 by 3 as a basic, but when you get into adding the other things, then you're working on your third dimension, and you get into the guns, and then you're even bigger, and the drills, they top it out at about 5 right there. So it's pretty hard to stay small. And yeah, I wanted to add these. Now, by the end of this video, between me, my daughter, and my son, we all decided this one, well, I kind of outvoted them a little bit, but I decided, I guess, to call it bugging out. The kids, they thought it looked like a bug, and I agree, so their bug idea and my little twist on it, that's the name I ended up with. Now, especially right now, I found having more wheels down to the ground to be beneficial. We do have some extra tire slippage going on. So that's pretty much the build of this guy. Run him through a quick test, make sure he actually does something. Just charging up my shield there, or my regenerating bubble. Make a few bucks. Got a piece of rubber in the wrong spot though. Oh, yeah, found it. Only wasted one oleus capsule. So as I think I mentioned in the start, I made a few techs today. A few little guys. I set out today gonna work on something else, but then that suggestion, it sounded really good. I kinda got into it, so I went out on this one. Same idea as before, keeping it small, as functional as possible. And this I was kinda going for a little lighter firepower, but still trying to get a good chunk. I want to be able to hit something and replace those megatons. That was the goal. Now it's just up to seeing how it turns out. You always start one way thinking, and you never know. Things change as you build. These hard. It's harder than you think to make a little guy like this and still do everything that a big tech would do. Obviously it'll be slower, but just to get it to function the way you want and not screw itself up just by driving, that's a trick in itself. You know, when you don't overlap refineries and generators and everything's open so it can freely run, and that limits you even more to what you can cram into that tight little spot. Normally I like to stay with an odd number of blocks across, because then you get a good middle point. But so far I've been trying to stay with this kind of size, double in the middle. Seems to work a little better on these small ones, stability wise. Got a wee bit of weaponry to this. Oh, I may have been mistaken. This might not be the one I thought it was. I don't know. Now I'm just kind of watching along and seeing how it turns out. I thought I had them in a different order. Huh. No, you can never have too many guns, even on a little guy. Yeah, I gotta like the drills. Now that one's pretty much built. We'll give her a test. I just can't seem to remember what I called it. I think this one's called Trembles. I named it later. There's still a little bit more that gets built onto this one. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Now I got myself second guessing. Should find out here in a minute, if I remember correctly. Which I'm not sure if I do. Well, that's one nice thing though, you can back into stuff with this guy and you'll chew it up. Maybe not so much on the trees, but rocks and that works. In reverse, forward, it works on everything. Yeah, that's Trembles. I would put geocore wheels under him. That's when he started shaking. If he sat there long enough, he would have saw him shaking. I think I must have edited that part out. I just needed a minute to think on that one. Not too sure how I wanted to proceed at that point. Okay, if I remember right, this one's called My Unit, and it'll actually carry the SCU, self-sustaining base, and pretty decent amount of firepower. Had a heck of a time trying to get that to go the way I wanted. Never did. I ended up having to switch it around. I wanted to stand up with the intake down and the out facing the forward, but instead it ended up going in like this. See, basically I wanted that, but mirrored on the other side. But this way it works out too. I'll just make it a front collecting harvester slash battle unit. I usually don't. I usually have it in the middle or at the back, just so I got all solid defense at the front and all my offensive weapons as well. Now, this time I'm really going for efficiency in a small package. Dual setup. This may not be the super small size, but it'll be very effective for the size it is, I figure. That's the next thing. I gotta get these things into the game and try her out. See how they really handle in the real world, or semi-real world, maybe. In the Terra Tech real world. Yep, should never leave home without your batteries. I was thinking of kind of stopping there, but I don't know, this looks too boring and defenseless. That'd chip away at something pretty fast. Ooh, little front heavy. Needs more of a wheelbase. It does handle pretty good though, like it scoots around. But it does lean forward pretty good. That's not going to help on the hills. Definitely got to hit them on angles. Now just to set up those systems, get them top or finished off. Can't call it my unit if I can't set or buy stuff. My unit's supposed to be the full package. just because it is supposed to be the complete package, I need an SCU to go on it. Just in case someone doesn't happen to know, throw a tech on an SCU, take a picture. You can order it in the main game, or yeah, maybe not the main game anymore, but the R&D, you can order it in there. I know I had a problem with that the other day. It said it was undiscovered, and I had actually had one, and due to a bug I had lost it. So I don't know if that works still. Yeah, a couple more wheels might fix that. At least help. Now, thinking in the pure spirit of money on this, I figure I better test her out and see how it works, if it works. And it's not too bad. It's already selling stuff before it hits the end of the line. And just to be a little extra greedy, I figure I might as well throw one of these on there. See if I can produce some alloys out of this little guy. That was kind of my original intentions for building this dual system. Hopefully they could feed each side. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That I'm not too sure about. I was thinking of putting a battery in there, but probably shouldn't. This one's starting to become a pretty lethal little tech. For the size of it, it's carrying quite a bit of heat. If anyone happens to be looking for a fast way of making money, if you can find the brick and blow it up, take all those Hailfire rifles and sell them at the Geocore trading station. You set up 40 of them for sale at once. Walk away, it's probably close to 55,000 bucks. They're $1,600 and some dollars a piece when you sell them. They're a really good find. The turbine fans are better though. They're $3,200 a piece. So you can find a bunch of techs with them on them, scavenge them up, sell those puppies and make a fortune. That's my plan for getting my base that I've been working on into the main game. I'm gonna sell a bunch of that stuff and bring her on in. Figure I'll bring it in the legit way instead of using an edited save. Be kinda nice, since I did start it in the main game, maybe to buy it and have it the right way come into the main game after its upgrades. And this guy here this should be mini money if I'm right. It's all kind of the same setup really. It's just a matter of placing things in a different spot here and there, and when do you stop adding to it. Most of these techs too, even though they are pretty small and they're not really made to have an SCU attached to them, you could probably still do it. I know I tried the one just by leaving a space between the processing part and the bottom of the SCU, and it was driving around alright, but it wasn't doing so great on the hills because it was too top heavy. Center of gravity was all out of whack, or its center of mass, or however you want to describe it. This is one of the most minimalistic mobile charging and selling techs I've made, I think. Even smaller than the contest winners that I had made. They were 5x5 and 7x6x5, I think. Something like that. That megaton, it was kind of an idea, but not too sure. Put that on top. Sorry about that. Yep, there's a boo-boo right there. If you notice the boo-boo, let me know. That hindsight's 2020. See? Seen it there. Forgot my receiver. Wasn't taking in nothing that way. So that was like the basic model with the small receiver. This is the real money maker. So maybe I call this one mini. Man, I got them all messed up now. But anyway, should be able to hold quite a few resources on that thing. I don't know if it's still 40 or not, but it's looking like it's getting there. I'd say 40. 40 sounds like a good number. I thought I'd better test it out on some hills, and it seems to be working alright. As soon as you get the drills past the incline, you can fall over on your forehead. That megaton might be a little top heavy for it. All in all, it works pretty decent. A little clever driving and maneuvering, be alright to make it around the world. Now this guy, he's called Bear Essentials. I know that because he's the only one I started like this. Out of all the ones I made today, he's got to be the smallest. Not by a lot, but just a little bit. But with this game here, a little bit sometimes that makes a difference. One block here or there, having it or not having it. Especially if it's like a shield or a regen bubble or the generator. Stuff like that, that's super important. Really sucks if you got a generator and all the other stuff, but you don't have a receiver. The refiner ain't the big point, it's the receiver. And you gotta manually load each piece, every piece, right into your generator. I've had to do that. It is not the funnest thing in the world. Tech this size, you don't really need too many guns pointing backwards. You can just turn right around pretty easy usually. So I decided to go for more of a necessities kind of way of filling these little spots I got here. So a radar seemed like a logical idea, along with a shop. It's always good. Keep in mind, I'm planning on carrying my SCU around in hand while I drive this around. But if I wanted, it could be fixed to hold it. Might have to lose a piece though, which that would kind of suck. Oh, good look around it, see what it does, what it's made of. Nice thing with a small tech, you can do this and you can see every block that's in it. There's none that are gonna hide after you've looked all the way around it. It's been sped up, but it actually is pretty fast for what it is. I didn't think the GSO wheels would go that quick, especially with the hub wheels in the middle. But hey, right on. I'm not complaining. Got need for speed. So I brought my little guys into the main game to see how they handle in the grasslands at least. I don't know how far I'm going to take each one. I figure the grasslands, that's a pretty good basic terrain that covers most of the inclines and junk you're going to run into. This guy, he seems to be scooting around pretty good. I don't know if he'll flip over or not. Get rid of that tree, might do better. Oh, he's pretty stable for what he is. See if we can chew up a rock here. Oh, it's working on it. All drills. Get some charging materials here. So all in all, I think he does alright. He travels pretty, well, fairly quick. Not super fast. Let's see if I may be getting a wee bit of a fight. See what we're up against. Dragger. So as you can see, he handles him really quick. So he's a fair little guy to start a game and have. So let's see what we get for the other ones. Oh, that was mini money. Ooh, that's an expensive one. Hey, it looks like we can buy it though. Well, that's going to eat up a lot of my money, but let's get her in here. Try it out. I got a feeling this might be the worst to handle, just because of the SCU on the back. Oh yeah, I put wheels on it. Or no, I didn't. Anyway, what's this? Oh, it sent me another one. Isn't that caring of them? Yeah, no drills on the front of this one. So even this one handles fairly good. It should be able to handle a fair chunk of resources. It's just a matter of, it's going to take a while for it to get through, I guess. It only can hold 3 at a time, or at any given time. A little back heavy with the SCU on there, I guess. So yeah, I guess that might be a bug when you have an SCU that you order and you get a second one for free and you already got one somewhere else, like on the tech over there. But I can move it and interact with that one. The first time I had that happen, I couldn't do nothing with the one. So I can do something with that one. Oh, maybe it's that one I can't do nothing with. Slow down, Bissy. Oh no, I can pick that one up too. Cool, cool. So yeah, this guy here, he actually will carry the SCU no problem. Guaranteed, as it's attached to the back. This guy, it could probably be done just by switching, well, adding one thing really. What if Well, nah, it wouldn't work that nice. Be taking something off. But we could do this. I could pick that. I can mount it to the side, and I'll see how. Oops, I'm the wrong one. We'll see how this one drives. Well, it does want to turn that way, but a little corrective steering, and you'd be alright. So yeah, that guy, he'll handle the SCU. He drives around not too shabby. See if we can find a hill here. As long as you're at speed, he goes. Move, you blasted tree. It's actually kind of quick. Surprised. Okay, so that's that guy. And that was, I forget his name. Oh well. That would have been Mini Money. Right there, and that's my unit. And, oh. This one I called them Trembles, because after I had put on the Geocore wheels, and he was sitting there just doing nothing. Oh, I can't switch now. Oh, there it goes. He was just sitting there shaking. I don't know if it'll do it again, but no, I'm sliding if anything. Alright, so he's doing a little hop. So that's how a guy's name Trembles. But this guy did start out as, I forget what I was going to call him. But he definitely, he'll go over, should go over anything. Should climb up the steepest of hills in this game. The nice thing with the Megaton cannons, you don't have to worry about blasting yourself into oblivion. So that's even kind of nice. I don't know if I really showed this guy in the other part of the video, but this is how, well, I can't remember what one he started as, but this is what he ended up like. He's another fairly decent little tech. A little bigger, mostly because of the wheels, but and I also had, where were the other ones? I think there was two more. Actually, I think this guy, Trembles, started out as this guy's Bare Essentials. Oh, I don't have enough money. No! I can't order them. Well, that sucks. So that's one way to chew up a bunch of money real fast, everybody. Is make a video and buy like 3 or 4 techs when you don't have that much money. So, let's try out something since we're here. Pretty much so, if these guys here made it around, the other ones being smaller, they'll do even better. The attacking enemies, less guns, take longer to defeat them, but with shields and regen, nothing to really worry about. Now, since this is my actual current game I'm working on, I'm going to clean this up a bit. What the hell is holding that? Yeah, we got that one gone. Alright, on it, picked up the SCU too. Put that in there. Oh, that was off of something. Get that out of the way. Come on. Wasn't even trying to build that. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm in. That's kind of funny. Almost stored myself. So those are the three that I can show you, due to me running out of money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run real quick and I'm going to get some money and I'm going to do the other two. So, back in a minute. And now I'm back with this guy. I called him Bare Essentials, because that's all he's got. And like most of them, I had planned just carrying this. Runs around pretty good. And pick up what we need. Got a few guns, so it's not a big battler, but it will hold its own. The nice thing with this one is he's fast. Doesn't really seem to slow down too much on the hills. If I had drove that better, I would have made it. I figure I'll just see if I can find somebody. Like, good luck. Let's see how we do against this guy. Oh, might not do so good. I wasn't charged up enough. Oh, actually, fared pretty good. So that's how I'd handle that myself. Maybe if I get lucky, the bracket I need will be in there. Because without the U bracket, I can't bring the last one of my techs into the main game. I'm missing that one block. So I don't know, maybe I'll try and buy it. See how that works. Yeah, I can't. Didn't think so. But yeah, all in all, it works pretty good. It's a lot more secure when it has full batteries. So yeah, this guy, he doesn't even slow down a bit going hitting the hills. He's just perfect, light enough to rip around. If I actually watched where I was going, I would have known I was headed for that. Yeah, the fifth tech, he's pretty much along the same lines as this, just a different little bit of a different layout, nothing too extremely different. And since I can't get him into here just now, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to. Because that block I hardly ever find. Not sure why, but that one in the too long bracket, that one's another hard to find one for me. So that would, I guess, conclude my testing and building of some small self-sustaining survival techs for early to sort of early mid-game. Keeping it easy for handling your SCU. You can just carry it along, or you could put it on top. It wouldn't be that hard, really. It won't look the prettiest, but it's not that hard. Just put one of these like that, so that'll work. Put that there. Now, if I had the brackets for Venture, that would be the best. But really, you can just do this. Just build that up too. Oh, maybe it'd be better to do like this. Yeah, feed it right back to the SCU. That's what I need. So now you have a guy like this. See, now he doesn't handle so good, but he will drive. And you could have it lower by 1, 2, really. So as you can see, he does fairly good. Slows down a little bit, but to be understandable, or to be understood, since you got something that high up off the wheels and top heavy and weird and Sitting alright though. It'll actually get going from a stop after you give it a bit. A couple wiggles. It's gonna not, just so it can prove me wrong. Too much of a hill on that stop. I had to keep going the 2-mile-an-hour limit. Low limit. So yeah, any tech could pretty much have that done. It's just a matter of keeping them as small as you might want or as nice as you might like looking. But that's my little test on size restrictions for the day. So until next time, everybody, have a good one. Bye.